Bodgies and Widgies, and welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be a really fun / educational video because today I'm going to be feeding my fish frozen Artemia brine shrimp for the first time. And this is really gross because it has like bloodworm juice on it and it doesn't smell good. Oh, I should probably clean that up. Give me a second. Whew. Anyways, for the first time ever, I'm going to be feeding my fish some frozen brine shrimp. And in the course of 10 years of me keeping fish, I've never actually fed them brine shrimp. I keep thinking they're bloodworms. They're brine shrimp. Artemia. Brine shrimp. And a few months ago, I actually did do a video similar to this where I fed my fish frozen bloodworms for the first time. And they were made by, well, not made by, cultured by, I guess, and packaged by Nutris. So I learnt that they have really good portion sizes and the cubes are actually full of bloodworms, or I'm hoping in this case brine shrimp as well, and not just mostly water, because that is sometimes a complaint that people have. So this time, yes, we are going to be feeding Nutris brine shrimp. Now, for the longest time, I was kind of under the belief / impression that pellets were just this amazing food. And don't get me wrong, I still think they are. And majority of my fish's diet are pellets, primarily Extreme Aquatic Foods Community Crave and Community Peewee. I also add a lot of Extreme Aquatic Foods Nano, which is their fry starter food. And it's an extremely small grain size, but I really love that food because I have a lot of small fish and it has an amazing amount of protein and all the fish just really enjoy it. But I kind of just swear by Extreme Aquatic Foods at this point because I seriously love the way those foods are manufactured, the ingredients that they have in them and things like that. However, after seeing a lot of people feed frozen foods and things like that, specifically Blake's Aquatics, you'll know that if you watch his videos, he feeds a lot of live foods such as brine shrimp, blackworms, bloodworms, and things like that he cultures. And I guess that I can't really culture them at this point, but having them frozen, ready to go without needing to set up the culturing equipment needed or having to harvest them, things like that, having them ready to go in a frozen capsule like this is really great. And this is still leaking bloodworm juice because I also did get some more frozen bloodworms that were on top of this, and it's just a mess. However, yeah, I think that we've had enough talking. I'm going to open this up. We're going to, it's leaking, it's still leaking, that's not good. Oh god, it's a mess. What does this video become? I'm going to pop open one of these cubes, let it thaw out, and then we'll get to feeding the fish. Simple as that. Okay, let's do it. I need a cup. The one thing that I will say about these brine shrimp is that they smell a lot more than the bloodworms. The bloodworms had this really kind of citrusy smell to them. I think it's probably because they're like loaded with vitamin C. Yes, vitamin C. I think they're loaded with vitamin C, but these ones are just a really fishy smell. Like if you'd expect kind of one day rotting fish, like if you left it out in the sun for like one day, this is the kind of smell that you'd get. I'm gonna get some water in this. Whew. You can, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but there's like actually little like shrimpy looking dudes that are slowly breaking off from it. Frozen foods is just the weirdest thing. If you feed frozen foods to your fish, you're just weird. Now, the brine shrimp have finished thawing out. So, let's feed these thousands of little melted bodies to my fish. Okay, we've got the ultimate display tank, also known as my 5-foot aquarium. At the moment, the fish stocking is quite low. We've got my 2 roseline sharks, some Bolivian rams, a few cories, my plecos, and also Jill, who is hiding somewhere in this giant horde of wisteria, and she kind of has like a little den in there. But we've got the brine shrimp here, so we've got 2 cubes, and you can see quite a fair amount of brine shrimp. So I'll pour half of this solution into this aquarium. I think that should be fine, and you'll notice them already how kind of small they are, but you can actually see the whole full structure of these shrimp, and I think that's really cool. So at the moment, we're not getting too much action from the fish because I think that this scent is probably a bit new to them, but we have a Bolivian ram coming in to inspect it. I don't think he's actually taken a bite yet. I think he knows that that is... Oh, yep, there we go. There we go, he's eating. we've also got the roseline sharks. I think that the main reason the feeding response isn't too crazy is, I think it's because it's a new scent, firstly, and also the fact that there's not too many fish in here, so a lot of the fish are hiding. If I had some dither fish, kind of like rainbows or danios, I think the feeding response would have been a lot more crazier, but you'll notice the rosies, they are just incredibly frightened of me, which is, just clearly shows that they are wild caught and their behavior is just insane, but yeah, we're not really seeing too much from them. They are slowly eating one by one, but I think for this aquarium, we'll leave it at that. I think, however, that the 4-foot plant aquarium grow out will actually get a bit of a better reaction because we have 2 platies in here. We also have 2 swordtails, almost 15 corydoras, some Siamese algae eaters, bristlenose plecos, and also my favorite of all, Timothy. He's my firetail gudgeon. Yes, I did name him Timothy, and I don't know why I named him that, but he's a really cool fish. So I think we'll pour them right in front of him and see what his reaction is. Okay, that's a lot of brine shrimp. But yep, instant feeding response from all of these swordtails. You'll just see them going right at it, picking it all from the water column and also the surface of the plants. Where's Timothy at? Timothy is here. Timothy has not realized, and I will be honest, Timothy is a bit of a loose bolt at times. He kind of just isn't that best with his vision, but he is eating them, and quite interestedly. But it does seem like he is really enjoying them. The quarries haven't picked up on it yet, but yeah, you'll notice that these guys are just devouring it. They're swimming up, just picking them up one by one, but you'll kind of notice here that they are like little tiny fuzzy bits of cotton. So yeah, and all the bubbles are from my CO2 system, but Timothy is just going at it. You got this, Tim. Go for it. But yeah, I think that it is definitely a hit, but like the fish are really enjoying it, and I think that the health benefits of this is going to be really good for them. However, I just think that their reaction is just a little bit more diminished than it was for the bloodworms. When I feed the bloodworms, they just hammer that stuff, but here it is a bit quiet, I think, and I think that the main reason for that is probably the scent, which is what I'm thinking, because I don't really think the texture is going to be a problem unless they put it in their mouth and spit it out, but they are eating it, so I think that, yeah, it probably just is the scent. So I think this is a really cool experiment. Alrighty, Bodgies and Widgies, I will say that honestly, I wasn't expecting that reaction as well. I thought that this is going to be exactly the same as the bloodworm feeding video, where if you didn't see that, I put the bloodworms into the water and all the fish just went crazy for it. Until this date, they still do. The second I put bloodworms in, all of them are out and all of them are eating. However, for the brine shrimp, the reaction that they're getting is definitely a lot more calm and a little bit more reluctant to eat them. So I think it'll be really interesting to see if this kind of hesitant behavior towards brine shrimp will diminish over times that I'll be feeding them, because remember, this is the first time that basically all of these fish in their entire life are eating brine shrimp for the first time. So my main thing is, I think it is the scent. So maybe we could try something else where we possibly rinse the brine shrimp prior to feeding to maybe get rid of any leftover salt water that may be on them, or maybe to mask that scent, and maybe do a comparison video between the brine shrimp and the bloodworms to see if there is a real difference. Because from my experience feeding my fish, I do know that their reaction is a lot more quieter, and it's really shocking and surprising to see that. I think this will be a really cool series if we continue it and feed different types of foods like Daphnia, white worms, microworms, black worms, and things like that. So if you want to see more videos like this, then please do consider subscribing to this channel, give this video a big thumbs up, and let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. What were you expecting? How do your fish react to bloodworms and things like that? So yeah, really amazing experience to see this behavior with my fish. It is definitely very different, and I am going to spend the rest of my time watching them finish off those brine shrimp. They're not bloodworms, finishing off those brine shrimp, and just see how they react. But yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, stay happy, stay safe, Stay Aussie Australian. Bodgie out.